Nemanja Vidić, feared by strikers, loved by Manchester United fans, and forgotten by history, he wasn't just a great defender. He was a warrior, a man who put his life on the line every time he stepped on the pitch. But here's the real shocker. Despite dominating the Premier League, winning titles, and breaking records, people still question his legacy. So, was he really the greatest defender in Premier League history? Or has the football world done him dirty? Stick around, because once you see what he survived, both on and off the pitch, you'll never doubt him again. Nemanja Vidić was the very definition of an uncompromising, hard-nosed defender. Known for his no-nonsense approach, ferocious tackling, raw power, and unparalleled leadership. His name is forever etched in football history, not just as one of the greatest defenders of his era, but as a player who shattered records and achieved feats few, if any, have replicated. And he did all this while enduring some of life's most unimaginable hardships. Yet, despite his incredible legacy, his name doesn't surface as often as it should in conversations about the best defenders in football history. Strangely enough, there's even a growing faction of fans questioning whether he was the Premier League's greatest ever defender. But let's put things into perspective. Among Premier League players with the highest win percentage, excluding those who played under Pep Guardiola's dominant Manchester City reign, Vidić is the only defender on the list. That alone speaks volumes about his impact. For those who may not have had the privilege of watching him in action, or for those who might have forgotten just how exceptional he was, it's worth revisiting his incredible journey. His rise to prominence was nothing short of extraordinary, shaped by trials and tribulations that forged him into the fearless warrior he became on the pitch. From a defensive standpoint, very few players possessed his sheer natural ability. But beyond talent, it was his mindset that set him apart. Vidić played as if his life depended on it, quite literally at times. He was the kind of defender who would throw himself into danger without hesitation, often risking injury just to prevent an attacking move. His style was so extreme that it became almost self-destructive, possibly shortening his career. Robin van Persie, who battled against him for years, once described him in a way that perfectly encapsulated his mentality. Vidić would put his head where most players wouldn't even dare to put their feet. That level of commitment was unparalleled. To truly understand what made Vidić the relentless force he was, one must go back to his roots in Yugoslavia, now Serbia. Growing up in the 1990s, he witnessed firsthand the devastating impact of the Yugoslav Wars, a conflict that tore his homeland apart. As Serbian forces clashed with Kosovo-Albanian separatists, chaos, destruction, and displacement became a grim reality. Life was incredibly difficult. His family, like many others, was forced to abandon their home in search of safety. As a child, he saw the horrors of war, bombings, families shattered, and a nation in turmoil. But amidst the despair, football became his escape. It was the one thing that offered him hope, a glimpse of normalcy in an otherwise chaotic world. Still, the war was an ever-present threat. There were times when playing football was simply too dangerous. But ironically, football would end up saving his life. At just 15, he was on the brink of being conscripted into military service, a terrifying prospect for a teenager in a war-torn country. However, his dedication to the sport earned him an opportunity that changed everything. He was invited to trial for Red Star Belgrade's youth team, one of the most prestigious clubs in the region. His performance was so impressive that the club signed him, not only giving him a chance to pursue football, but also shielding him and his family from the brutal realities of war. By the age of 19, he had broken into Red Star senior squad, becoming a key player despite being one of the youngest in the league. Vidić's rise was meteoric. Within months, he had outshone seasoned professionals, earning a reputation as one of the fiercest defenders in the game. His tenacity, positional awareness, and sheer dominance made him a nightmare for opposition forwards. Standing at 6 feet 2 inches and nearly 200 pounds, he combined brute strength with an intelligent reading of the game. His ability to anticipate opposition movements, cut out passes, and make game-saving tackles made him indispensable. He wasn't the vocal orchestrator of the back line in the way some defenders are, But when it came to protecting his goal, he was an impenetrable fortress. If an attacker dared to breach the defense, Vidić was the last line of resistance, an unyielding guardian who refused to be beaten. His aerial dominance was another weapon in his arsenal. Whether defending or attacking set pieces, he had a remarkable ability to outjump and outmuscle opponents, making him a constant threat in both boxes. Vidić's relentless style came at a cost. His willingness to put his body on the line led to numerous injuries, but that never deterred him. He played through pain, through adversity, through challenges that would have broken most players. From the very start of his career, Nemanja Vidić was synonymous with physicality, aggression, and an unyielding commitment to defense. Yet, despite his hard-hitting style, he was never considered a reckless or dirty player. Unlike the effortless elegance of Paolo Maldini, Vidić's challenges embodied a controlled chaos, both destructive and precise. It was this unique approach that set him apart from other legendary defenders. Vidić's mentality on the pitch was exceptional. He never sought personal accolades or the spotlight, nor was he the fastest player. But what he lacked in speed, he made up for with sheer endurance and relentless movement. More importantly, he was battle-hardened in ways that most players could never comprehend. Having grown up in the midst of war, football was nothing in comparison. It was a fight he relished rather than feared. That aura of absolute fearlessness was what made him a nightmare for opposing attackers. By the time he was just 21 years old, he was already captaining Red Star Belgrade, leading them to a league title and 2 Yugoslav Cups while scoring an impressive 12 goals in 67 appearances, an incredible feat for a defender. But his journey was just beginning. Vidić's excellence extended to the international stage, where he was part of Serbia and Montenegro's formidable Famous Four defense, one of the most resolute backlines in world football at the time. Despite the team not being recognized for attacking prowess, their defense was legendary. They set a record by conceding just 1 goal in 10 FIFA World Cup qualifying matches, a testament to their defensive solidity. Red Star Belgrade couldn't hold on to him for long, as European clubs lined up with lucrative offers. In 2006, he made the leap to Spartak Moscow, becoming what many believe to be the most expensive defensive signing in Russian Premier League history. His rapid improvement signaled that it was only a matter of time before a footballing giant would come knocking. That call came from none other than Sir Alex Ferguson. Manchester United had been searching for a commanding presence at the back, and Vidić fit the bill perfectly. He was the missing piece they needed, and alongside Rio Ferdinand, he formed what would become one of the most impenetrable defensive partnerships in football history. Before Vidić's arrival, United had gone 3 seasons without a league title. But in his first full season, they reclaimed the Premier League and won the Community Shield. His immediate impact was undeniable, earning him a spot in the PFA Team of the Year in his debut season, a rare achievement for a foreign defender adjusting to English football. The 2007-2008 season was even more remarkable. United secured back-to-back Premier League titles, but their crowning achievement was the Champions League victory over Chelsea. Vidić was an unshakable force in forced penalties. Without him, United may not have lifted the trophy. Once again, he was named in the PFA Team of the Year, cementing his status as the best defender in England. But his personal best came in the 2008-2009 season. United won their 3rd consecutive league title, the League Cup, and another Community Shield. Vidić even found the net in the FIFA Club World Cup final, scoring a game-winning header. He played every single minute of the Premier League campaign, helping United keep 14 clean sheets while conceding just 24 goals in 38 matches, an astounding defensive record. His performances earned him the Premier League Player of the Season award, making him the first defender in history to claim the honor. His United teammates also voted him the Players' Player of the Year, marking what many consider the most dominant season by any Premier League defender ever. The 2009-2010 season saw United's defense remain solid, conceding the fewest goals in the league. However, despite their resilience, they narrowly lost the title to Chelsea by a single point, with the League Cup as their only silverware that year. But Vidić was far from finished. His performances in 2010-2011 rivaled even his legendary 2008-2009 campaign. He once again established himself as one of the world's best defenders, leading United to their record-breaking 19th Premier League title, making them the most successful club in English football history. Recognizing his leadership, Sir Alex Ferguson handed him the captain's armband, and Vidic responded by marshalling United's defense to 20 clean sheets while delivering his second highest scoring season. His brilliance saw him claim his second Premier League Player of the Season award, making him the only defender in history to win it twice. However, years of putting his body on the line inevitably took a toll. Injuries began to pile up, affecting his once unstoppable physicality. Still, he remained a crucial figure for United, helping them capture another Premier League title and Community Shield before leaving the club in 2014 as an undisputed legend. Vidic spent his final seasons at Inter Milan before hanging up his boots, leaving behind a legacy that still commands immense respect. Even legendary defenders like Paolo Maldini and Fabio Cannavaro have hailed him as one of the most consistent and dominant defenders they've ever seen. Didier Drogba, one of the most formidable strikers of his generation, admitted that Vidic was the toughest defender he ever faced. One of the biggest modern debates revolves around comparing Vidic to Virgil van Dijk, two of the most dominant defenders the Premier League has ever witnessed. Van Dijk boasts a PFA Player of the Year award, which Vidic never won. But Vidic holds multiple league titles and remains the only defender to ever win the Premier League Player of the Season award, twice. But perhaps the most telling statistic? Vidic holds the highest winning percentage of any defender in Premier League history, 71.5%. That, more than anything else, demonstrates his unmatched influence on winning football matches. Nemanja Vidic's time in the Premier League was nothing short of legendary. He spent nearly a decade at the pinnacle of football, establishing himself as one of the world's best defenders and a role model for aspiring defenders everywhere. He was more than just a player. He was a warrior, a leader, and a champion in every sense of the word. Vidic wasn't just a defender. He was a force of nature. But here's the real question. Will we ever see a defender like him again? Or has football moved on from warriors like Vidic? Let us know in the comments, hit that subscribe button, and get ready, because we've got even more untold football stories coming your way.